Welcome to Defy Limits, the podcast by Alana Levinson. Today, we're sitting down with another extraordinary guest. Darren Jewell is a brain injury thriver, inspirational speaker, and lifelong learner from London. After overcoming a childhood brain injury, he now empowers others to embrace personal growth and lifelong learning. This is the show for bold leaders and visionaries who refuse to play small. Every episode, we dive into raw, unfiltered conversations with risk takers who broke the rules, trusted their instincts, and pushed far beyond what they thought was possible.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to my guest, Darren Jewell. I am very much looking forward to this, and I so appreciate you being here. You also had shared with me an instance about, well, not instance, it was probably multiple instances where you were bullied. And there was one person in particular, or one kid in particular, that was bullying you a lot when you were young. And, you know, what did you say to yourself to get through those days, or how you saw yourself back then to get through that?
In junior school, which is like between the age of 7 and 11, I didn't know how strong I was because I didn't use the right side of my body for hardly anything. So I didn't use my right hand for anything. So I did so much with my left hand that it was stronger than other kids. When I was in between the ages of 7 and maybe 10, if someone picked on me and hit me, I might have hit them back. And I didn't realise my own strength. And at some stage, I realised, and I said I was not going to fight anymore. And so when I went into high school, from day one, I would not fight back. And they could just see quite a skinny kid with glasses, an easy target to pick on. I had said that I would not fight back, so I let people thump me, and I just took it. I still didn't fight back, but I stopped the bullies from this one instance. And nobody touched me for the rest of the year, my school time. So, would you like to hear what I did?
Yeah, you told me, but tell the audience what you said.
Okay, so I was 15 years old, and I was in a class, and I was actually sitting next to a teacher. Guy I was sitting next to was supposedly the strongest boy in the school, and he was sitting on my good side. And he thumped me on the arm, and I looked at him, and I just went, if you're gonna hit me harder than that, or leave me alone. And he hit me again, and I repeated the same thing. And he hit me again, even harder. And I said the same thing. He done it again, and again. It was 5 or 6 times. And each time I said, and the last time I said, if that's the best you've got, leave me alone, because you're not hurting me. He didn't know. He was hurting me. But I wasn't gonna let on. He actually walked at the end of the class. He walked out of the lesson and walked up to everybody and said, because everybody was picking on me, and he just said, I've just hit Darren the hardest I could, and he just said, if you're gonna hit me harder, or leave me alone. And he said to people that he thought that I knew in myself that if I retaliated, I might hurt someone, and that is why. And It was. He realised that for 5 years I didn't retaliate because I didn't want to hurt anybody, and that is how I've been all my life. And I did say this to you. I call this my Rocky Balboa moment.
Yeah.
Because in a film, and they came, like the first one came out in 1978, I think, and I think it was the Rocky 3 where he's fighting Mr. T, and he was like saying, "Hit me harder," or like, "Hit me harder, hit me harder," yeah, and that is what I was saying, but I hadn't even seen the film, so I do call that my Rocky Balboa moment, and I am quite proud of the fact that I didn't fight back.
So when I was a toddler, I fell off a balcony, and that was like 54 years ago, so we didn't have MRI scanners. I didn't find out until I was in my 30s that a third of my brain was dead.
Parents were told when you had this brain injury that your brain would not be able to retain information and that you might not really amount to anything. I can only imagine how scary that would be for a parent to have to go through that.
I can't think of a time where I actually thought, no, I'm not gonna achieve anything, because at school I studied hard, like as hard as I could, and I achieved what back then you were in a class. I was told that the highest I could get was a grade 3 CSE, and I actually had one teacher say to me that it's a little bit unfair because he thought that I could have actually got an O level, which is the next one up. It was the left side of my brain that I damaged. Okay. And the left side of your brain is the logical side. So
your dad seems like he was definitely part of your path in that way. And then also later on, he taught you how to be a plumber. But before that, you learned how to become a chef. And you said that something happened that made you look into more about what was going on with your brain, and you found out that there was only a third you found out that there was like a third that wasn't working. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, so at the age of 18, I was on a family holiday with my mum, dad, and my younger sister, and we were driving back from the south of France, and we were in a car crash. And back then, there was no rear seat belts. And my dad went round the corner. Someone went into the side of us because he could see round the corner on this motorway that there was a big traffic jam. And he went into the side of us because we'd got more space for him to stop. And I went through the middle of the front seats, and it was only my mum seeing, like, imagining me flying through the air as a baby and put her arm out like that, knocked me back, and she hit me in the neck, which knocked me back. But the following day, it happened so quick, I can't even remember it. But the following day, I was going like picking glass out of my head because I had touched the window screen and it broke, but she'd knocked me back. I was that close to going through the window screen. And then 8 years later, I was 26, and I was working in the kitchen, and the restaurant was closed. We were clearing up. There was me in the kitchen, there was a waiter, and out the back was the office where the manager was doing the cashing up. Somebody kicked through the front door, walked past the waiter, and maybe saw me wearing glasses, thought, oh, easy target, bumped me in the face, and my glasses flew across the kitchen, and he had a hold of my head, was pulling me over a partition, and the manager and the waiter had to get him off me, but then they were struggling. I had to pull his legs out from under him to get him under control. And as I've gone down, I've hit my head on a table. The following day, I woke up with trapped nerve, and since then, there was a slow decline in my health, and I was getting issues with my back. But I was 32 when I suddenly started falling over. And being a chef and falling over is not a good combination, because I cope with hurting myself, but
Right. Yeah.
not hurting someone else.
The strength that you had wasn't just physical, it was an inner strength that you had too.
Yeah. It was more inner strength, I suppose. I know that I was strong.
Start to wrap this up. So
Yeah.
you're an incredible example of, and you've said this, like that you rarely say I can't now, and that this accident was your number one gratitude, like on your gratitude list. Because, often as coaches, we'll talk about helping people reframe their mindset of things happening to them versus for them, right? So all of that to say, what are some last words of wisdom that you can share with those listening to this that you want to leave them with?
The accident, which was bad, and I think you need to be able to turn a bad incident into something good. And for me, I say that if it wasn't for the accident, I wouldn't be the person I am now. And I like the person I am now. Yeah, I am completely different to what I was pre-COVID, because I couldn't talk like this. But if there's anyone listening who's going through something maybe not as traumatic as what I've gone through, but still life-changing, that with the right mindset we can overcome most things. And yes, I do not say no, I can't do that anymore. I will at least give it a try. So that's my never give up, because the brain is the most amazing thing in the world. Yeah, no, we've not even touched the surface of the brain, and I've come on to tell my story, because if a neurosurgeon in the top London hospital has only seen this 3 times in 35 years, unless people like me come out and tell people our story, then people aren't going to know. And it's not look at me, look what I've done. It's look what's possible if you've got the right mindset.
I love it.
If today's conversation sparked something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it, because big breakthroughs start with bold conversations. And if you're done playing it safe, tired of waiting, or trying to figure it all out alone, let's talk. Alana Levinson works with leaders and entrepreneurs who are ready to break through and go all in. You can connect with Alana on her YouTube channel or find her on LinkedIn and Instagram. If you got value from this episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and drop a comment. We'd love to hear what resonated with you. Until next time, keep pushing, keep trusting yourself, and keep defying limits. See you soon.